Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of testing to determine which division is probably the best Marine for you and the best Marine overall. First, let's get a couple of exploits out of the way. There are three that I can think of off the top of my head. The first one is the planning bonus exploit, banned in most multiplayer games, where you create a plan against anywhere. You can do it here in Ireland for D-Day, you can do it against French North Africa, you can do it here against Corsica. There's a bunch of different places you can do it against, where you get your planning bonus, and then you unassign and assign them to your naval invasion. With your units assigned to your naval invasion, you instantly launch them, and they'll slowly lose one planning bonus per day, but when they show up, they'll have some. When they showed up here, they had 25%. That is the first one. The second one is converting templates. So let's come down here and let's make a duplicate of this template. And then we're going to take all of these guys and we're going to convert them to the copy. But we're not going to click this. We're going to come in here and we're going to change the copy. So we got a 20 with Marine Division, maybe we slap on a little bit of artillery, 30 with Marine Division, add some support stuff. This does take a lot of army experience because you do have to redesign the division largely from scratch. You can have the support companies already set up, but you have to redesign the middle part. So then we click Save here, and then we click OK here. And all of these divisions just converted to Marines. We're now 400 divisions over the Special Forces cap. That's another exploit that will also get you banned in multiplayer. And now for the last one, once we just convert these all back to their regular infantry division, is instead of using full infantry templates of just like 20 widths to spam out divisions to increase your Special Forces cap, what you can do is instead create a division that is infantry, but mostly anti-air, and then you come in here and you don't let them use anti-air. So when we recommission this division and then we convert to it, we're going to save ourselves a bunch of manpower. We're going to gain 1 million manpower and 350,000 infantry equipment, and we're going to need 100,000 towed anti-air. Here's the thing. None of these divisions are actually allowed to request anti-air, so they just sit here with 100 guns. But they count as 10 battalions, and you could make this bigger if you wanted to. Now, doing it this way saves you 900 infantry equipment per division. And it costs you no anti-air because you can just disallow your division from using anti-air. You do need the one infantry here just so you can block anti-air usage. Those are some little exploits you can use to get yourself a little bit of extra special forces cap. Most of them will get you banned. Now for testing. I have, as you guys saw, every single Marine template you could probably think of. From 44 widths that are just a lot of artillery to 10 widths that are just pure infantry. All of them are using light flame tanks and engineers. Yeah, we just got 9 and 4, 11 and 2, 9 and 3, 9 and 2, 9 and 1, 7 and 2, 16 widths, 15. And we're going to test every single one of these against the French. So the French, we have a pretty basic setup. Defensive doctrine, unyielding defender. The Italians can get this. The Japanese can get this. The French can obviously get this. And then infantry leader with ambusher. Again, everyone can get that. We're defending the ports that are plains primarily. All the islands in the Pacific are actually plains. Quite the test. And I've got a grand battle plan right here, which is what Japan will usually go. I haven't gone all the way down to the end. Italy will typically go mass mob right, but when you're going against the AI, they actually tend to use Grand Battle Plan, and we give them division defense and an infantry expert. And the French are sitting at 47% war support, so they're not going to have any benefits from that. I got two divisions. The main division we're going to be going up against is a 22 width. I have added support artillery, controversial I know, but a 6% cost increase in the division results in like a 27% increase in their soft attack, and we're not using infantry equipment 2. We're going to work under the assumption that they're using infantry equipment 1. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. When you do all of this, you end up with divisions that have 79% entrenchment. This is reasonably attainable in vanilla. On the English side, we've given them division attack, infantry division attack, and special forces division attack, all at the level 6 expert level. We've given them breakthrough, and we've gone superior firepower right, left. This is the way multiplayer tends to go. So let's start with the first test. We got 44, 27, 28, 30, and 24 with the Marines. I'm going to launch them all, and then I'm going to tag over to the French. What we're going to see from the French side with the AI off is which divisions can actually land or push divisions off the port. Pushing them off the port is important because that means in the Pacific, you would lose a division. These guys are the 27 width Marines. We are attacking with one extra division over combat width. We got the 27 width here. We have the 44 width here. So 44 width did not even push a single division off the tile, and it does not look like 27 is either. Over here we have the 30 width Marines trying to land, and here are the 28 width Marines. Oh, and down here are the 24 with Marines. I nearly missed this. As you can see, not a single one lands, and not a single one gets pushed off the tile, which is less than ideal. So that's test 1. None of the 24 or larger width divisions landed or even pushed a single division off the tile. Let's delete their orders. Let's move on to group 2. We've got 20 with Marines that we'll set up down here. We've got 15 with Marines that we'll put here. We've got 16 with Marines that we'll put there. With everyone in position, let's launch and then tag to the French. Okay, so here's the 15 widths. Up here we have the 16 widths, and down here we have the 20 widths. Can any of them push a single division off a tile? The 15 widths seem like they're doing pretty decently, actually. Under 50% org. Same with the 16 widths. 20 widths did not push anything off, neither did the 15 widths. 16 widths are doing decently. They're just running out of steam. Perpetually reinforce this. The 16 widths actually pushed one division off. So far, only the 16 widths would have killed a division on an island. And this is only in plains. So we still got 2 more tests. 10 widths, which we're going to launch here. And then the 21 widths, which I missed previously, that we're going to launch over here because this division isn't going to have its entrenchment. And if I'm going to be honest, I just don't feel like waiting for them to get their entrenchment. Already both are in position. Time to launch, and let's see the results. We got 10 widths here who are actually taking an overstacking penalty. And if we actually check, they are getting 0 penalty from navally invading. And the 10 widths land. Over here, the 9 and 1s are going to not land. So if you're using pure Marines, 10 widths? I mean, you can't really create a more robust defense than this. They really win so quickly, you can't even reinforce in. And then if we attack back in, they just, nothing. Not a chance. Okay, let's tag back to England and pull out these 10 widths. Because not everyone likes 10 widths, not every server allows 10 widths. We're just going to get rid of these divisions. Because if you're not allowed to use 10 widths, then you kind of use some sort of Amtrak or amphibious tank division, right? So I've got 3 designs. These are all based on 30 widths. 30 widths are the meta for tank divisions, so why not make your amphibious ones 30 widths? So we've got Amtraks that have hardness but no armor. They are going to get pierced. We've got Amtraks with amphibious tanks. This is when you don't care about Special Forces cap, and then you've got amphibious tanks where you do care about Special Forces cap. And I'm actually going to duplicate this division because I have 2 designs here. I'm going to make this one the expensive design, and we're going to make sure the original one is the cheap design. Okay, so copies are expensive, regulars are cheap, and the real difference here is, are you going for any armor whatsoever? So the cheap one, riveted armor and an additional machine gun. On the expensive one, we're swapping the additional machine gun for sloped armor, and we're swapping to welded armor. The whole point of this is that if they have AT, you're still not going to get pierced. Not getting pierced is a 40% increase in your damage output and a 50% decrease in the damage you take. If you use the amphibious tank chassis, it's just not going to happen because it's a light tank chassis. This is just an expensive Amtrak with a better gun and absolutely no reliability. I would not recommend using amphibious tank chassis because they are a separate chassis and there's no bonus. They're a separate chassis and there's no bonus on amphibious. It does mean you get it much earlier. You get it as, I think this is like 1938 tech, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't line up with any of the numbers versus 1941 tech. But 1941 tech allows you to use the 1940 medium tank chassis, which is just far superior to this tank chassis. That's what we're going to do. We're going to test each one of these and we're going to see how they land. These divisions do not have AT in them. Over here, we've got the copies versus the copies. So the expensive versus the expensive, the cheap versus the cheap, and then the Amtraks just by themselves. So let's just do the Amtraks first. We're going to send these guys in, see how they do. They are getting pierced. They are going to be taking reduced damage because of their hardness. And they failed to land. They failed to land against divisions that do not even have AT. I don't know, maybe I should have put more artillery in it. Maybe I should have gone for like 6 artillery. Maybe I should have gone for like a 6 and 6. I don't know. The Amtraks just lost. Now, copy versus copy. I expect both copies to land. The top copies are the better ones. These are the ones that also have Amtraks, not just motorized. They're going to try and land next to each other. So they're not getting pierced because they've got the expensive armor, which means they should have no problem landing. Same as these guys. They're taking a 10% naval penalty. These guys are taking a 5. Copies with Amtraks land with ease. Copies without Amtraks are going to land in about the same timing, actually. They had to travel different distances. So both land just fine. Those are the ones that are going to be unpierced, even if the French had AT. Let's go up north here and let's do the cheap versus the cheap. They should also be unpierced because, again, the French don't have AT. And they should also have no problem landing. Now, if we repeated this, but we gave the French AT, that should change the result. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up these naval invasions again. We're going to get the French back in position. We're We're going to give them AT2, and we're going to see how that changes. One eternity later, the French finally have their full entrenchment bonus, because my god does it take forever to actually get to 79%, because you're only getting 2 a day. It's literally a month. And let's have these guys launch. So here, they are getting pierced. Here, they're also getting pierced. These guys are going to land, but there is ample opportunity to reinforce here. And one of their divisions got sent back. This is the template without Amtraks. The Amtraks are in much better shape upon landing. So you're definitely going to want to use Amtraks in your amphibious tank divisions if you have the opportunity to, but you are significantly reducing the number of these divisions you can produce. But if you only need 6, you can probably get away with using all of these. And we got a little medium tank destroyer here just in case you run up against German tanks when you land. So what have we learned from this? Amtraks are garbage, amphibious tanks are good. Not getting pierced is good, but you can still win even if you do get pierced, so you don't need armor. So you don't need to spend the extra on armor, you can put on additional machine gun, or we could have slapped on wet ammo stowage and gotten 85% reliability, which is quite nice. Depends on what you want, but you just need a little bit of armor. And you want to up your armor a little bit anyways because it gives you breakthrough. You just don't need too much. As long as you're looking at over 30, even divisions with AA cannot pierce you. That is what we've learned. 10 with Marines are the best. If not 10, 30 with actually do pretty well if you're not going to do 10 and you're not allowed to do 10. They have a good amount of org, they have a good amount of soft attack, and there's few enough of them in the battle that if you send excess, you can cycle them. You can intentionally drop some out of battle so you reinforce and you keep reinforcing, and you'll kill at least a couple of divisions if you're island hopping. If you're not island hopping, then you're probably not going to land. But 30 withs are good enough for island hopping. 10 withs if you need to brute force with Marines. And otherwise, you're going to need amphibious tanks. And I would highly recommend using whatever tank boost you get on the amphibious drive, because this amphibious tank chassis just sucks. Like, actually, it's so bad. You can get it early, but it's so bad. And it's a different battalion type. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.